Growing concerns this morning that China is spying on American military bases. A top lawmaker tells the Daily Mail Chinese nationals tried to enter U.S. bases over 100 times just last year, often posing as DoorDash drivers or even tourists to try getting to America's sensitive secrets. Joining me now is retired U.S. Army Brigadier General John Teichert. General, welcome.
Hannah, thanks for having me.
So first, I want to ask with the obvious question. I want to start with the obvious question. How concerned should Americans be about China's efforts to infiltrate our military bases?
Hannah, this is part of a consistent strategy from the Chinese Communist Party that started in 1999 called unrestricted warfare. And a part of that strategy is to find ways to infiltrate and undermine American institutions. And this is very much a part of that. So is Chinese communist clubs on U.S. college campuses, or Chinese police stations in U.S. cities, or $700 billion of stolen intellectual property a year by the Chinese Communist Party. And sadly, they are implementing that strategy for the last 2.5 decades. And to some extent, we're not as vigilant or as diligent as we should be in stopping them.
So to that point, what should lawmakers be doing right now to counter this threat, General?
A big part of this, Hannah, is making sure that we secure our southern border. There are an unknown number of national security threats that have flowed across the border in the last 3.5 years. But we also need to use congressional oversight authority to make sure that the Department of Defense is implementing our own security policies and processes in a way that makes sure that uncleared and likely nefarious actors do not enter our military bases.
So I mentioned these men and women trying to get on military bases. They pose as tourists or food delivery driver. But what sensitive info can they actually get once they're on the military base?
Hannah, just watching pattern of life and gathering open source intelligence provides them a lot of opportunity to understand our security practices, maybe to observe elements of our operational or tactical capability. And when you piece a lot of different data points together, then you come up with an overall idea of our capability, our readiness, and our vulnerabilities. And those pieces of information integrated together can really give a leg up to an adversary like the Chinese Communist Party.
I do want to talk about the deepening ties between China and Russia. They've been deepening lately. We saw Putin and Xi Jinping meet just a few days ago. We know a top U.S. security official warned that Russia remains, quote, the most active threat to our November elections. Do you agree with that? What's the likelihood that China will also try to carry out some type of influence throughout the campaign?
Both China and Russia have shown an inclination and a desire to undermine the United States and the international world order that we created after World War II that has benefited us the most. And part of undermining our country is undermining our trust in our electoral processes. We know in the past that both of those countries have actively tried and to some extent succeeded in doing so. And whatever they can do to undermine our trust in our institutions and our processes is a benefit to them as they strive to achieve a different world order that is in their favor.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and sharing more about this threat, General John Teichert. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.